Biggest story in the wrestling world is Hulk Hogan. Everybody's talking about Hulk Hogan. I wrote a blog about Hulk on my website, jrsbarbq.com. Yes, it's got that screwed up URL, jrsbarbq.com. Don't ask me, don't get me started. jrsbarbq.com. And, I had people that just lashed out at me because I said that I had never known Hogan to be a racist. Now, obviously, from what was captured on audio tape, apparently, he said some very inflammatory things. Things that obviously he wishes he had not said. Things that I don't know that he knew he was being recorded on. Had no idea. I don't know, when you're in that environment, was he really making a sex tape? Or was he just having sex with a buddy's friend who wanted to film it? I don't have a damn idea. Never been in that situation, folks, I have to admit. But the language he used was very unsavory. It was embarrassing. No place for it, which is what Hogan has said. I can tell you this. I've known him. I met him, quite honestly, at WrestleMania 9 when he came back and he beat Bret Hart, or he beat Yokozuna, who had beaten Bret Hart, to become the WWE champion. It shocked everybody. I had no idea what was happening that night, which was great for me. I didn't know Hogan he was in a tag match. I thought that was it. Bret loses the title to Yokozuna, the old salt in the eye thing, and from Mr. Fuji. Here comes Hogan. Come back, boom, leg drop, new champion. So that's when I met Hogan. We never were, we didn't travel together. We didn't socialize together. I only had a business relationship with him. It was fine. Okay. It was all right. And he came in with Hall and Nash there for that NWO run. He wrestled The Rock at WrestleMania 18. Hell of a match, very memorable. Everybody thought Rock would be the big baby face in the match, and instead it was Hogan. I always compared it to classic rock. It's like, once you hear Hotel California and the band's there, I want to hear it again. So I always thought Hogan came to Toronto and was the Eagles and played Hotel California, and the fans loved the music because it took them back to a place that, you could check out but you could never leave type thing, if you know what I'm saying. So, and Hogan could be challenging to do business with at times, but I've dealt with a lot of major stars, and by God, don't ever think that Hulk Hogan wasn't always a major star, always. Maybe the biggest star ever over the long haul in pro wrestling. So all those guys of that level can be challenging to deal with at times. That's not a knock on Hogan. It's just the way the business is. You see the same damn thing, guys holding out. Des Bryant, the Cowboy, says, I'm going to hold out if I don't get a new deal. It's not unusual. But I never knew of Hogan, and all the dealings I've had with him, good, bad, and indifferent, to have any issues with race. None. I never knew Hulk Hogan to have any issues with race whatsoever. And, then I say that, and I only can say the truth. That's all I can say. This is the truth. And that is a fact. And then, of course, what you hear on the tape, and you say, well, how can you say that? Well, I can say it because it's the truth. I never had any African-American athletes, any athletes of color, ever come to me with a problem regarding Hogan and race. None. Zero. I never heard him around any of the guys that would give me any indication in the locker room or anywhere else that he was a racist. But obviously, 8 or 7, 8 years ago, wherever it was, there's documentation of racial language that he has admitted to and has apologized for and he knows he made a mistake, and I know he should not have said those things, but does the mere fact of someone using that language in a cavalier, careless way, was he drinking? Was there anything else involved? I don't know. Is the mere fact of someone using that language, does it automatically brand them as a racist for life because they say something that is unsavory in that regard? Everybody's got an opinion on that. I'm not trying to tell you yes or no. All I can tell you is I never experienced any racial issues with Hulk Hogan in my professional dealings with him, and those were the only dealings that I had. I know that we live in a society that encourages forgiveness. I know that for those that study the Bible, that forgiveness is mentioned often. If you are atheist, then I guess that doesn't matter to you. But I do believe that everybody deserves an opportunity to correct some wrongs. And his language was wrong, and he should be given an opportunity to rehabilitate his image and to change his life. And that's going to be up to him. I'd say this, if I was Hulk, I'd damn sure stay off Twitter. You're not going to make yourself look any better. You're not going to heal the wounds any quicker by tweeting right now. I think he should get himself, I wrote about this in a blog this week, good PR team that understands these matters, someone that can help him with sensitivity training so he can understand how this has affected a lot of people, and stay off the Twitter machine. Let it go. So that's my take on Hulk Hogan. You may not agree with it, and certainly you have the right to your opinion. I'm not going to lash out at you or respond to people that curse me out or take me or woodshed me on Twitter. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to even respond to the tweets. I'm not going to engage in conversation. There are people on Twitter that tweeted me that thought I had, the audacity to even think that Hogan did anything wrong, that what he did was not really bad, because it was in the privacy of this bedroom or wherever the hell it was, and it wasn't for public consumption, and the right of privacy and freedom of speech. Everything in the world came flowing in at me, and I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to argue the point. You're talking the wrong hombre there. Bottom line, I hope he can be forgiven. I hope he can rectify this situation. The way he makes a living is going to take a big hit if he can't. It's not like he says, well, I'm Hulk Hogan, I'll go out and use my doctorate and go get a job teaching in a college. He's an entertainer. He's a performer. He's a public personality. And right now that public persona doesn't have a lot of value. Let's hope that things can change, and that can change for him. And if I were WWE, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea. What's on tape is on tape. If you don't want to use him going forward, then that's your prerogative. WWE they can use anybody they want going forward or not. But what's already on tape is leave it alone. You've got to glorify it, but it's there. And it almost looks even more magnified if you do take it out. You're not going to show Hogan slamming Andre anymore at WrestleMania 3? That'd be kind of odd. It's only one of the biggest moments, if not the most seminal moment in the history of WWE. So, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. I guess that's the point. And I hope it works out the best for everybody, and that we all learn from it. We can see that our words can hurt people and hurt ourselves and our families and other people's families, and be more tolerant of others, and understand that racial issues are still, sadly to say, race is still an issue in America in 2015. It's a damn shame. That's what it is, a damn shame.